What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gad Talks. Today we are going to be talking and reviewing two watches of a very similar price range. First of all, we have the Vibe 3 on the left, which goes for about high 20s to mid 30s, depending on the watch and seller that you choose to get it from. Next, on the right, we have the CF58, which comes in a variety of colors as well. And this can go from $30 to $40, depending on the website and seller that you choose to get it from as well. Now, before we begin today, if you guys have not yet already, please subscribe to my channel, as you guys don't want to miss out on my weekly reviews on the latest gadgets, electronics, and smartwatches. And if you guys do want to purchase these watches after this video, you guys can use my affiliate link below, which will take you to trusted sources on eBay, and I will earn a commission at no extra cost to you. Now let's begin. So we are going to go through the Vibe 3 smartwatch first, because this one could potentially be cheaper, and this one is got a bit of a learning curve to it, because it does not come with a touchscreen of any type, and you really got to read the instruction manual on how to work these 4 buttons to function just the basic functions of this watch. Now, I have to say, for this watch, of the same functionalities that you can get, which includes the steps, as you can see, calories, distance traveled, alarm clock, and stopwatch. All of these functions, you can actually purchase another watch, maybe even at about less than maybe about $10, and still get the same functions. So for this watch, you're really getting it for the looks. And if the looks are enough to compel you to actually get this watch, then by all means. But let's put this watch on and see how it looks and judge it for yourself. This is how the watch looks after you have it on. The silicone band is nothing too impressive. You would see the standard band on even watches that are a lot cheaper, even for $10 maybe. Some of the watches, examples, would be like the EX18 or the EX16, very similar bands, so the band is nothing special to it. What is special about this watch is basically the case, which seems to be all metallic, which is nice. So this is pretty much the difference here between this $30 watch versus a $10 counterpart, which would be the EX16 or the EX18s. But if you want to go through the functions of this watch, you basically have to go through the lower left-hand button right here to kind of scroll through the functions. And once you get to a function, you will use one of these 2 buttons to actually adjust and set and work the functions. So it's not touchscreen, so it's not impressive for sure. But people usually get this watch for the look, and with the functions aside, the looks have to make up for the price difference. Now let's check out the CF58. This watch is a little smaller than the Vibe 3. The casing itself, you can tell that it's not as well made as the Vibe 3, but this watch would have the functions to actually kind of make up for it, as well as the interface. So this watch has a semi-touchscreen, so basically it's not a full touchscreen, so you can't really just touch anywhere on the screen and expect it to react. You really have to just touch the lower middle part of this watch in order to just browse through the functions. And once you get to a function, you will long push to actually work the function. So for example, if you're at the home watch screen, let's see if there's several watch faces that comes with this watch. No, it's not. This is the only watch face, it seems like. This is the sports mode. Count your steps, calories, distance, very standard. that also comes with the Vibe 3 smartwatch. Sleep monitor, which would be an extra kind of thing in addition to the Vibe 3. So this is not something that the Vibe 3 has, I believe. You can measure your heart rate. So let's put this watch on and see how it looks, and also take some of the fitness functions for an example in a ride. Okay, so this is how it looks. It's a very standard size watch, nothing too small. I've seen smaller fitness tracker watches, and this would actually looks better just because it's bigger. It looks better on a guy. You don't want something that's super small. That's, it just makes it seem like it's a girly watch. But this looks a lot better on, both guys and girls. I mean, it's more universal. Now let's take a heart rate monitor measurement. See how accurate this thing is. I expect myself to be somewhere in the 60s or low 70s. So if it hits anywhere within that range, I can give it some trust. But obviously, let's see, I hope this is not the final reading. That would probably be me on the treadmill. Yeah, that's not a good reading. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, so this is not an accurate BPM reading. Let's check something else that we can actually see as well. So this watch also comes with you can also look messages. You can also measure your blood pressure. So let's try this and see if we can get at least a more accurate reading on this. It's taking a while, which is not impressive. That seems at least a little bit more accurate to me. I'm not sure where exactly that reading sits on a chart, on a blood pressure chart. 121 to 73, I believe that was the reading. I think 120 is kind of on the high end of the normal blood pressure. So I don't believe I actually have higher than usual blood pressure. So I'm going to take that reading with a grain of salt. And so should you if you actually do purchase this watch, as I see that the watch reading could fluctuate pretty greatly. So for that reason, it's not something I would recommend unless you actually get a watch with a very accurate reading. Comes with other functions: shutter camera, pretty standard, music player, which is extra, that's nice. So if anything else doesn't work, you can at least have the music player. And let's see, others. Stopwatch looks like. These are setting functions, so okay. So that's the end of looking at the CF58. If I had to choose between one of these, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, this one looks good, sounds good on paper with all these features that it has to offer. But after what we have just went through and seeing how perhaps inaccurately this watch was, it kind of makes it a drawback and makes the functions it has to offer almost useless. At least for this watch. I'm not sure if this one is defective especially. And so, if I was to go for looks, I'll go with the Vibe 3. if you can actually find a CF58 that works a lot better than the one that was just shown right here, then that would be a catch. But you know, both of these watch has its pluses and differences, so it's really up to you to choose. I do not have a clear winner here just cause, but if this watch has all the functions running accurately, then I would choose this over this, just cause it's a lot easier to use, a lot better functions, and so on. Alright, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.